What's up, guys? An NFL player gets waived, and instead of signing with another pro team or ending his football career, he may be able to go back and play college football now. And now the SEC, the Big Ten, the Big 12, and the ACC, they're all reacting to this. The Daquan Wright situation helped ignite the debate, with some major conferences moving to block former pro athletes from returning. The legal situation is moving quickly. Like a Texas judge temporarily blocked the enforcement of the sex rule for certain athletes, while the ACC, Big Ten, and Big 12 have also taken action. Like this is like him going back to college has spurred like a ton of action, and kudos to these leagues for doing so, man. Because this doesn't make sense. Like as a pro athlete, I get that you want to like make as much money as possible, but like going from the pro down to college is crazy work. Crazy work. All right. So, man, look, like here's exactly what happened. Like bro went from college football to the NFL, to being waived and then cut, and then back to college football. The Daquan Wright situation is connected to, the broader legal fight for expanded NCAA eligibility. Like these guys want to play until they're 30 at this point, because it's insane to me, man. Like it's insane. Like this isn't simply a player, changing his mind. Like this is happening because college eligibility rules are being challenged in court. The player empowerment thing is super silly to me, because what if he was only in the NFL for a few weeks? You know what I'm saying? Like if he has legitimate eligibility left, then why should sign him with an NFL team permanently in his college career? It's kind of like how in the NBA now, where like you get the college basketball guys, you go to the pre-draft stuff, and they either find out they're going to get drafted in the first two rounds, or they go back to their school after like a fair evaluation. Some guys say, whatever, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to stick with college, yada 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 yada. Uh, and then some guys just, they move on to the league, man, and take their chances, which is like super insane to me. It's super insane. But like the NCAA's eligibility rules, like they changed after bro made this decision. Like we tell athletes to bet on themselves all the time. But if betting on yourself doesn't work out, then should you be punished forever? So like this is especially interesting now because these college athletes can earn the big bucks. They get big bucks, with the NIL and uh, all this other stuff that's happening. So, but man, this is where like I think the debate gets like very interesting. It gets super interesting uh, because like could NFL could become like a second transfer portal. That's what I'm thinking is what's happening, because especially if they get cut in during the preseason or in the summertime, they don't make a team, they get cut. Like, can they go back and transfer back to college? So it's quite an edit, man. It's what's going on is like super crazy to me. But that's the world that we live in. That is the world that we live in, and it's I don't know, man. It's insane. It's insane. So, uh, but August NFL roster cuts, they happen, and college coaches are watching. They're now watching harder than ever. Lane Kiffin, as soon as Daquan Wright was cut, Lane Kiffin called him minutes after the news, bro. Or shit, he probably even knew the news happened before that. But they're saying who just got cut, does he still have eligibility, how much money do we have available to get to this guy? And money, we all know money talks, man. Money talks. So, but now suddenly you get the NFL waiver wire is becoming the new college football recruiting board. And that's a nightmare scenario for people who oppose this. And generally, it's going to be high school coaches, and there's college coaches and pro coaches that are even against this. But high school coaches probably hate this the most because they are working hard to get their seniors these offers, and then to have it taken away by a player who failed to reach his goal is crazy to me. But I get it. Like these coaches, they have to win. They you want to win, but you have to win in college. Like college jobs are fickle; they go quick, and if you don't win, if you don't compete, then they're going to move on to the next coach. And so I get it, but I'm not. I'm 110% not with it. 110% why not with it, man. But that's a nightmare scenario for people who oppose this. And a college team could theoretically add a player who spent the entire offseason receiving NFL level coaching, man, which is insane. And they've been competing against college players, and they're getting all this experience, and then they take it back to the college game, and they're going against these 18 and 19-year-olds. They're damn near 27, and it's insane to me, man. Like I don't think it's fair to current college players, because imagine if you're a sophomore who has like 3 years of eligibility left. You know what I'm saying? To develop at a school. You're finally in line to start. Then an NFL player gets cut in August, and boom, your school brings him in. Now you're back on the bench. This player plays the same position he plays. He's bigger, older, stronger, smarter. And, like I said, it's not fair at all. It's absolutely not fair. It's competition, man. And competition in sports is the nature of the beast. So if college football already has NIL and a transfer portal, what makes a former NFL player fundamentally different from a player transferring from another college? Essentially, like that the timing is probably the biggest problem. Like personally, I think this is more important than simply asking whether former pros should be allowed back. For example, you get a player that signs with an NFL team in May, and then he spends the summer in NFL training camp, and pro then gets cut in late August. Then he immediately joins the college team. That's very different from a player deciding in January that he wants to return to college. Should there be a deadline for that? I think if they're going to allow them to do it, there definitely should be, because again, it's not fair to the players that are taking that red shirt year, waiting for their opportunity. And this prevents players from essentially using NFL camp as a free tryout and then falling back on college football. So the NFL has already drawn a line, because they reportedly told teams who return players to college football for this season that they cannot sign with the NFL club during the same season, which is phenomenal. So from the NFL to college to the NFL, not going to happen. Not going to happen. They don't want a player bouncing back and forth from the league in the same season. So do you guys think college football should adopt the same philosophy? Or once you choose your league for the season, that's where you stay. Or can you go back into the draft? Like it's very interesting, man, what's happening right now. But conferences are definitely acting like super aggressively, man. They waited like a couple hours, and then they're like, man, screw this. Like these guys sport. Say Big Ten, the Big 12, ACC, they all move towards rules that prevent all former pros from returning, even though some of these court battles are probably going to create uncertainty around the enforcement of this. So are these leagues protecting themselves, or are they scared because they're losing control? Because college football has already opened the door, man. Like they opened the door to NIL, to revenue sharing, transport portal movement, transfers, agents, and player representation. So it's getting insane, man. It's insane. So, why do you guys think this is suddenly where college football decides to go to line? Like that's what I'm curious about. Why do you guys think that? If like, what if the player never played an actual like regular season snap in the league? Does this simply does that mean signing an NFL contract makes someone a professional forever? So for example, like player A signs with the Seahawks, and he gets cut after 3 days. Right, he never plays a game. Player B plays 4 full seasons of college football. Player C, he transfers 3 times, and then he earns NIL money at every different side. Who do you guys think has the bigger advantage? And I feel like that's where the debate gets like super complicated, super complicated. So, but man, if you transfer to 3 times nowadays, man, like you have zero loyalty. I wouldn't want anybody that transfers that much on my team because I mean, you want that continuity. You want that continuity to help you build a program. So you don't want people that are going to bounce like at the uh, first start of getting a bigger paycheck. I'm not against players getting another opportunity. I'm 110% for it because you have to do what's best for yourself at the end of the day. But my thing is, and it's trickled down to high school, man. Like I coach high school soccer and basketball, and it's trickled down big time in football, basketball, and even soccer now, man. Like you have players that have zero loyalty, and just because the situation is right for them. As freshmen, they transfer as a sophomore, and if that situation is working out, like at some point, you gotta like look in the mirror and say like, yeah, maybe it's me, maybe it's something I'm not doing, or maybe it's something that like these coaches are my attitude, or maybe it's the fact that I'm like jumping around. Like every time something doesn't go right, I'm posting on social media, like, oh hey, like yeah, thank you, X school, but for my future, I'm going to go to Y school. And that's what, man. There's a ton of players doing that now, man. It's actually insane, and they blame it all on the coaches, man. They say the coaches might run them too much, or the coaches have favorites, and like everybody will tell you, man, like all coaches have favorites. All coaches have favorites, uh, and those are going to be the guys that show up, that work hard, that you don't have a problem with that, man. Like those, everybody has favorites. That's a given. Everybody has favorites. Uh, but man, I'm like I said, I'm not against players getting another opportunity. I'm just against the NFL becoming college football's farm system. In reverse. Player gets cut, player goes back to college football, and they're like obviously going to be a better player because you're getting like that NFL level coaching. So my thing is, man, like a return should be possible. And here's my solution: a return should be possible, but like you got to have rules. You got to have rules in place, man. Player must genuinely have like unused eligibility. Like you can't be have played all 4 years and you go to the NFL and you play over the preseason, the summertime, go to training camp, and they cut you, and then you try to go back to college. Like you can't. I don't think that should be a thing that's allowed at all. Um, Another thing, once you sign an NFL contract, you can't return to college. Like you can't return to college in the middle of the season. Make them wait, and I feel like this would deter that a lot. Like, because if players have to wait, they're going to have to keep chasing their NFL dream. Like a lot of teams do the practice squad, so maybe that could be an option, because you still get the income. Maybe not as much income as they're giving out now in college, but you're still getting that income. Uh, Third one, I think there should be a firm deadline before the college season. Don't anybody on board a week or two before the season starts, right? Because you're disrupting the chemistry of your team that you built so far. You've been practicing since then, like January. So, you got to be at that deadline, man. And no bouncing up and down. Don't go to the NFL and then back to college and then back to the NFL. Like choose one, man. Choose one and stay. Um, and I think that the eligibility rules should be clear before players make career decisions. I think that's going to be a super important integral part of all of this. But man, like, what do you guys think, man? Like, is this whole situation is crazy, man. Like the reaction of all this has become widespread with all the major conferences moving to restrict like former pros from returning. Man. It's insane to me now. It is insane to me now. So man, let me know what you guys think, man. Should Daquan White should he be allowed to play? Um, like, to me, like, I wouldn't do it. Like, I wouldn't do it because he's got an unfair advantage. You know, he's been playing against players better than him for the last few months. And we all know that's an easy way to getting better. An easy way to getting better. And yeah, man, I don't like it. But let me know you guys' thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe. Thank you guys for the support, and I'll catch you the next episode. Peace.